I'm the great-grandson of one of the two founders of Audemars Piguet. His son, who was my grandfather, I was very, very close to him. He's the one who teach me how to build houses in the trees, how to ski. And what I remember is that when I was a kid, he used to come back home with watch movement he was working on, and I was a little bit frustrated because, you know, for me it was difficult as a kid to understand why he was spending so much time on those tiny pieces of metal rather than playing with me. And I remember that one day he came home with a movement that was fully assembled, and he asked me to touch what we call the escapement. And when I did that, it became alive. You know, it was like a beating heart, and there was the second hand that was moving, and I was, wow, this is really magical. When you have this role, there is a different type of responsibility, because you really realize you're one of the person that is responsible to make sure that the company will continue, that people will have a good job. You think differently about the consequences of what you do. And quite often, when I have to make difficult decisions, I will think at the same time of what my grandfather would have decided 50 years ago, and of what my grandchildren may think of my decision in 50 years. So you have probably a longer term perspective in a position as a member of the board than as an executive.
Families, members put trust in me to lead their company. It's their company, it's their history, it's their future. And I have this sense of responsibility. It's important I meet with them and I understand what they're after. I understand their dreams, their aspirations for the future, or their frustration. And I need to stay close to them, first to learn, but also to represent their interest in the long term. I definitely see three vectors that will guide my strategic choices in the future. The first vector is innovation, not only on watchmaking and high-end watchmaking. I would like to really put the accents on invention, watchmaking invention in materials, but also invention on the way of working and invention on managing the retail, because we are truly an end-to-end company from manufacturing all the way to retail. The second pillar of my future strategy will be client centricity. I want to bring them much more at the center and the core of the way we think, the way we innovate. But the idea is to listen to them, understand their needs, understand their behaviors, and start anticipating and reading the trends of the market, so we are well positioned to write the future history of Audemars Piguet. And last is definitely a responsible business. Definitely we have a vector of environment, a vector on social impact that are both extremely important for us, especially the social one in Switzerland is extremely important.
Something that is very important is to remember also something that was told to us, that we don't really own the company. It's more a notion of stewardship than ownership. So our role is, during the limited time we are here, is to kind of forge the next link of a very long chain and to make it strong enough to support the links that will then be added by the other generations. So this notion of thinking in terms of generation rather of quarterly reports is also something that is specific to family companies.